So let's look at Mediaferry Studio in a browser. Today I'm going to take you through the system that we have developed. Hi, my name is Puneet, and let's start logging into the system. So that's the username, the password, and there you go, you're in your system. This is the home screen of the system that has very basic tabs. As the name suggests, create new project, proofs to review, queries to respond, active projects. So this should give you an idea of what you're looking for inside, but of course I'm going to take you through each of these baskets in a little more detail. Let's understand the home screen a little better. Here is the activity feed, which contains what has been happening with the projects, how long ago, what is due when, you can see that in the calendar. Now let's look at each of these tabs in a little more details. Say you had a project that you wanted to create. Please bear in mind, you could be auto feeding projects into Mediaferry. That is, you could provide projects to us via XML feed and we will ingest them into Mediaferry for you. But for instance, let's say you had to create a project. So I would say demo test. You can of course give your own name that you wish to give. Say there was a campaign which was about digital or a print. You could choose a campaign if there is one, or could create one for the purpose. You could choose the creativity level. Of course, you can have all these metadata fields are customizable. You can change and redefine and work with your primary contact in the studio to redefine any of these. Say you had a date and time when you wanted your project back. You could choose the date and time. Project status. Assign means the job is being assigned to the studio, and keeping it live means that you've just got it booked. Say it is a video project for the purpose. Subtype, what you want to get done. And again, as I said, all these are customizable fields. You could provide your basic categories, instructions, and you can drag and drop your files or could add files over here. I'm just gonna choose the files that I have it open for ready for this particular demo. There we go. As I select this, it instantly starts loading the files. Of course, depends upon the browsing speed of your system. All the requested files would get loaded into the system. As you're done with the loading of the files, you click on submit. It gives you this message saying that your job is now created. Alright, so say the job was created and it was sent to the studio. Studio completed their activities and returned it back. The job would come back in the proofs to review basket. This is where you would come and see your jobs and review them in terms of whether or not you're happy or not and stuff like that. And as you hover over a job, as I did currently, as you hover over a job, you get to see these options, and if you click on proof, it opens in a proofing component, which is where you will be able to mark your changes or suggest your changes. So like in this particular case, this is a video file or a video project. I could come in and watch this video within the Mediaferry browser. I could do a full screen or not. It accordingly functions. If there were multiple projects within this project, I could come in over here, and if there were multiple finished files, I could select them from this drop-down menu. For the purpose of the demo, we only have one, but there could be more as well. As I click on the submit button, it asks me whether it was an error down to the studio or it was a change request. Of course, all of this is being done for the purpose of metadata entry and recording the information. Say it was a change request. It gives me a pop-up that my request has been submitted successfully. Now let's have a look at a different kind of a file, which is a GIF animation for the purpose of the demo. A GIF animation or a digital file. We could also review HTML5 as well as PDFs or JPEG. If you had a GIF animation file, you could mark your pushpin changes over here, which could be very simple as change this image. And like I showed in the previous demo, if you submit this change, for us and for yourself, it'll appear over here on the right hand side. And as I mentioned earlier, if there was multiple files like there are in this particular case, you could select any other different file and it will load in your browser. When you're working on GIF animation files, the system breaks the animation into frame by frame animation, and you can see all these frames over here, and you can mark your pushpin changes on any and each of these frames separately. Now let's quickly look at the next tab, which is queries to respond. Say a studio had a query. Where would we go to submit a query? We would come in over here and click on query. And once we do submit our query, it comes here for you to respond. As you click on queries to respond, there you have your job with the highlighted option, what do you have to do, like an action to perform. So you could click on respond to query. What was the query asked by the studio? That's here in front of you. And you can type your message. So for the moment, let's just click on respond. And that's it. That's how simple it is to communicate back and forth with the studio. So there you go, your submitted changes have gone back to the studio. Now let's look at the active project list. What does this contain? Of course, this active project list is again customizable. You can decide which all production statuses should be considered as active and what not. And then all these projects that are here in different production statuses are in front of you. Of course, right now we only have 5, but there could be 500, 5,000 as well. And how do you filter down your request? It's very simple. You could choose based on the date filter, the campaigns, the project name if you know, or the statuses or the advertisers, and of course these filters can be customized on need basis. But currently we only have 5, so let's just look at the next feature that I'm going to show you, which is one of the smartest feature of Mediaferry, and it's one of the beauty of Mediaferry, which is SmartDesign. So I'm going to quickly take you through the SmartDesign project, which will help you understand what the project is all about and what all features we have available for you to perform within Mediaferry. So as I click on SmartDesign, it opens up the templates library that we already have within Mediaferry. Again, these are all predefined templates that we have created in Adobe Edge. The purpose of the templates is that you are able to work on one job and get multiple sizes. So as I select my banner that I would like to, or the template that I would like to use for this purpose, it launches Easy Build, and then which is Easy Build is pretty much an application within the browser. So as you can see over here, I have some options to change the text, and I can type the new text over here. As I move on to the next, it updates, and of course I could change the website to whatever else I wish to do, which would be a click-through website. This text over here, this frame over here is a vector graphic, so you could change the color of the text. Of course, these options are not available here, but if you would like, we could make them available for you, which will allow you to interact more with the vector graphic, which would be text and this background image over here. You could change the color and the size. For the purpose of the demo, let's look at how you can change the images. In this particular case, I'm just going to choose another image. As I click on choose image, it allows me to go into the gallery. If you had not uploaded anything, you would have had to upload the file first. But for the purpose of the demo, I already have a file loaded that I've selected. So as you can see, the image is now updated over here, as well as in this particular in the primary job. So there you go. That's how simple it is to change the imagery as well as the text. Now, one thing that you would have noticed that as of now, I have been working only on one job. As I click on next, I will get all 3 versions that are set up with this particular template. Now, there could be more versions as well. There could be more sizes as well. Depends upon how you set up your templates. But currently for this, the template that I have chosen only has 3 sizes. You could review each of these sizes and even make edits if you wish to. Like in this particular case, if you didn't find the image fit appropriately, you could make the change to the image. Say I'm happy with the designs or the output that I received. I go down and I click save. As I hit save, Mediaferry will save this particular job, in fact all 3 versions, and you can tell us whether you want us to auto upload these jobs to a particular location on an FTP, or we could even configure Mediaferry to be set up with Google DoubleClick for publishers. Currently that's what it is set up with, or if you're using any other ad serving platforms. It would auto create a job for you in those ad serving platforms, and you will be able to run your digital campaigns very easily. And for print purposes and video purposes, we could upload them to a particular location from where you can download and use for other purposes. That's a little about Mediaferry as a whole. Now let's look at some of the reports functions that we are currently building or developing. Here is one of the beta version of, or a customized version of the campaign report that is under development. And again, we could do this, or we are working on this just because we have an access to DoubleClick for publisher for the client that we are working with. If you need one of this to be prepared for yourself, we could go into your ad management systems. Of course, once we have the access, we will be able to get all the required information, and as much information we can provide a similar looking report for you. But let's look at this report for the purpose of the demo. So it tells you what's the start date, what's the end date, who's the user, contact details, allows you to download all of these items, and also informs you how many impressions were there, clicks, CTR, overall graphics, and what was the usage, or you can say the impressions and clicks by the graphics, in specific in terms of by the sizes. Further information in terms of impressions, CTR, again by the sizes, by the devices, the time of the day, and geographic location. All of this is being custom built right now for the client. Of course, it totally depends on what data that your system would provide to us so that we are able to prepare such reports. That's all about Mediaferry that I had for you today. Thank you.